YouTube, are you ready to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again in pretty much an endless loop? Well, no, I'm not talking about me streaming and dying, though we do that on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays over on Twitch. But anyway, let's get to it. Into our review. Okay, before we get started, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think in the comments below. I didn't think I was going to be so into this game, but here's a question for you. What do Lost Memories, Darkness, 8-bit graphics, and card battles all have in common? No, it is not a rock to the head over a Pokemon game. Ugh! It's Loop Hero. So what is Loop Hero? Well, it's a card-based roguelike auto battler that you have a little stick figure guy, and he walks around in a circle fighting monsters and... Alright, YouTube, I'm doing a terrible job on selling this for you. Look, the game doesn't look like much at the beginning. It really doesn't. Just on straight glance, you're like, this looks like an old game. Why are we even looking at this? Why are we even diving into this type of game? But the second that you make your first loop in the game, you're hooked. You are all in. There is no way out of it. Not getting out of playing this game after that. You'll put a ton of hours into it. The gameplay, your hero walks in a loop in endless time. As he does, he runs into monsters that, well, he must fight. Why am I not mentioning you controlling your character? Well, it's because you don't. He walks on this loop, he runs into monsters, he fights said monsters. So where do you come in on this? Well, as he fights those monsters will drop equipment that you, that's right, you, will then use to increase your hero's ability to survive and kill. They also drop cards, and you, once again, will use those cards to change and upgrade the world around your hero and his loop. So why do these cards matter and where you put them on the world? Well, they determine your health, your attack speed, the HP that you will gain at the end of every loop, which monsters will spawn, which abilities affect your character. And there are a ton of cards and different effects for you to unlock in this game. There's even a camp or a base that you get to build, and you unlock new classes, you unlock new cards. It gives you things like potions, starting weapons. There are so many different perks that you get to control to help that said hero along that loop. The music and sound. This is always our favorite there, Landers. Well, the music is a little repetitive, but go figure. It's kind of this 8-bit style there. Here's the thing with the music, though. It varies enough that you never really get tired of it. Unless you're sitting on the main menu. Just press play already. It adds to each battle and has this energy. It makes you just sit there and you're just bobbing your head the whole time. You go around each and every single one of these loops, even though it just sounds like multiple MIDI samples produced over the top of each other. And it's actually really, really good in all of its 8-bit audio glory. Oh, and the boss track is straight fire. When you spawn the boss, it is amazing. The sounds, that is also in 8-bit fashion, which truthfully can be a bit much at times. I did have to turn the volume down at one point when I was fighting a bunch of ghosts, because that sound, and there's a few of the other ones out there, but that sound in particular is just straight ear-piercing. I know, it's in that 8-bit glory, that 8-bit feel, and everything kind of fits, and sometimes you had those really high-pitched tones when it came to some of those older games. But man, I would really like to hear the rest of the game as well as that tone. So the look of this game is exactly what you would expect. Sounds 8-bit, gameplay is 8-bit, very simplistic here and there. So this one is also in the 8-bit graphics, and it gives this really good nostalgic feel. It reminds you of old fantasy PC games on a 386 computer, a Tandy or something, mixed with a bit of that classic D&D look. The game is laid out in a classic style, where your equipment's on one bar, and everything else is laid across here, and different attributes are down here. Even the font looks like it belongs in one of those older games. And it even looks like a brand new window has to be opened when you are fighting or looking at inventory or you're interacting with NPCs in the game. Can you guess how this game feels? No, that's right. It is just straight nostalgia. But even if you haven't played games from before computers had hard drives, yeah, there was a time when that actually existed, everything in this game is intentional. The graphics, the sound, the simplistic controls, but the extremely deep gameplay. They all feel wonderful. They all fit magnificently. And well, it makes this game 100% completely addictive. Though you are not actually controlling your hero, you are affecting the entire world around them. And when you have a good balance between a really good build, the abilities that you attach to said hero, and enemies that are just tough enough each loop, it is greatly satisfying. Also, you determine when you end a run. So say you just needed 1 or 2 resources and you're kind of worried about that build that you've been doing. Hey, you can leave early and keep all of them. Keep all of that resources. Start over again. But, make sure to build that thing in your base. Or, you know what? You have the most epic build possible. You've gone through 10 loops, just spawned the boss, and you murdered it. Guess what? You're not full on resources. Keep that looping going. You can just keep going the whole time, over and over until every single tile is filled. And you can't pick up any more resources. You get to leave on your own terms. So YouTube, you'll never guess what my actual opinion about this game is, will you? No. You'll guess exactly what my opinion is about this game. I love Loop Hero. Absolutely love it. I am 100% addicted to this thing. I mean, honestly, I've put in about 20 hours in 3 days. 20 hours in 3 days. I mean, some days I have barely enough time to sleep, doing content creation, other jobs, and family, and all these other things. And I still made time for this game for 20 hours in 3 days. This video is getting done at last minute because of Loop Hero. So, do I recommend Loop Hero? Yes, of course I do. Do I think that it meets our $1 per hour metric that we usually determine whether or not a game is worth the cost? Yeah, it actually does. 20 hours, 3 days. The game's under $20 already. Should you take my word whether or not to buy this particular game? Well, I don't know if you necessarily take my word for it because, hey, I'd rather you make the decision for yourself. And guess what? There's a demo. You can actually play this game without spending a single dime. So if you're not sold on it from this video, or you're not sold on it from watching all of these streamers, and there's a lot of streamers out there playing Loop Hero right now, guess what? You can go check it out for yourself. And that demo is basically the first chapter. Yeah, you can't unlock a bunch of things that are in the camp, but there are a ton of things that you can do, and you can just sit there and you can loop for hours and hours and hours. Once you play the demo, you'll put like 2, maybe 3 hours, you'll purchase it. 2-3 hours, you'll be purchasing this game. Check out the demo, make the decision yourself. This game is absolutely wonderful. And hey, come join us on the stream too. I will most likely be playing this game sometime in the future, because this game is great. So, YouTube, Have you played this game? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you actually think. And, well, let me know if there's something you want to see in one of our next videos. So, until then, hey, maybe we'll see you in the next video. Have a good one, YouTube. Thank you once again, YouTube, for watching the video. I really do appreciate you. Hey, if you liked what you saw, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the little bell to get notification when we go live with a new video. That's every Sundays. Also, like and comment on that video you just watched. I want to know what content you want to see, what content you want me to do. I mean, this is your channel. This is your community. I do this for you. Also, right over here, that's right, those are the social links. I do things IRL in those as well. A little different from what we do here, and a little different from what we do, last but not least, Twitch on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Also better known as Beers Day over the channel. 3 to 7. Come have a beer. Join the Landers. Be part of the chat. Thank you once again for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye, YouTube.